and the stretch is just beautiful.
You got to see this. This is amazing. You don't believe it. Can you make a Neapolitan pizza in 3 hours?
Hey, we're back. Right, today we're going to do something completely new. We're going to do a direct dough, and it's going to be ready in 3 hours. Okay, how are we going to achieve this? We're going to use extra yeast. We're using dry yeast today, so let's get going. This is going to be a dough using Caputo Manitoba, which is a very, very strong flour. Let's put all the flour in. We're going to dissolve the yeast in the water, like this. Use the back or use a spoon. Stir it until it's dissolved. Oggi facciamo un impasto diretto. Facciamo impasto per pizza napoletana in 3 ore, solamente 3 ore. C'è 350 grammi di farina Caputo Manitoba, 260 grammi di acqua e 13 grammi di sale. Okay, the yeast is dissolved, so we're going to add our yeast. We're going to add our water with the yeast directly in here, but we're going to mix it slowly, little by little. We're using the K-beater today because I find with small amounts of flour the K-beater works a lot better than the dough hook. This is the dough hook for the KitchenAid. This is the dough hook for my buffalo, which is for the larger amounts. So we add the water and the yeast little by little. Okay, we're close to our last bit of water with the yeast dissolved inside. I'm going to increase the speed. Okay, I stopped the mixer. We're going to add our 13 grams of salt, 13 grammi di sale. Activate the mixer again, regular speed, speed number 1. And now we're going to put our last bit of water. Okay, we'll keep it at speed number 1 a little bit. Actually, no, maybe speed number 2. Let the water become absorbed. Then we're going to take it out. We're going to rest it for 30 minutes. Then we're going to make the balls, and then we're going to rest it in the fridge for 3 hours, and we're going to have Neapolitan pizza in 3 hours. Turn it off and let the dough rest for 5 minutes in the bowl, and then start the mixer again. Let it rest, stop the mixer, let it rest for 2 minutes, and then mix it again for 2 minutes. And then 5 seconds, and then mix again for 5 seconds. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stop for 5 minutes, and then we're going to mix it again. Okay, so the dough's been resting for about 5 minutes. Let's show you what it does. Okay, look. It's not stiff anymore. It's relaxing. Okay, let's continue. Whoa, wrong knob. Let's continue the mix. Speed number 4. We're going to mix for another 5 minutes. The whole mixing process takes 15 minutes. Adding the water and working the dough. 15, maybe 20 minutes, but keep an eye on the temperature of the dough. We don't want the temperature of the dough to rise above 24 degrees. How do we check it? Well, we need an infrared thermometer. Okay, 5 more minutes of mixing and then a smaller rest. Okay, we've had 5 minutes of mixing. We're going to rest the dough now for 2.5 minutes this time. Can you see in there? Let's get you up and close to the dough. It's really looking nice. See you in 2.5 minutes. Okay, we've been resting for 2.5 minutes, so we're going to mix for 2.5 minutes. We've been mixing for another 2.5 minutes. Now it's time. We're going to stop the mixer. I'm going to let the dough rest in the mixer for a few minutes, maybe 2.5-3 minutes before taking it out. Facciamo una piccola riposta dentro la impastatrice. Questo riposto solamente 2,5 minuti, 5 minuti, dopo prende fuori l'impasto. Guys, we've rested the dough now for 5 minutes. Look at the difference. The dough is totally relaxed. Okay, so we're going to take it out now. So I'll zoom out, give you a better view. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. It still needs more resting. Yeah. So let's take it out. And we're going to put it on the counter and let it rest for another half an hour, 40 minutes. Okay, taking out the dough. Put it down on the counter. Look at that. It's beautiful stuff. Manitoba is really nice. So we're going to give it a little fold. Okay. And now we're going to cover it and rest it for half an hour to 40 minutes. See you then. While we're waiting for our dough to rest, I'm going to show you a little trick of mine. This is fior di latte, but it's the wet kind of fior di latte. It's very moist and maybe a little bit too wet to put on a pizza directly. So what I like to do is I will slice it. You can tear it, you can slice it, and I'm going to dry it out so it is not too wet for the pizza. Then we take our second chopping board, put it on top, and then we find something nice and heavy like this to put on top and squeeze all the excess water out of the cheese. It's gonna give a wonderful cheese for the pizza. Fantastic. Okay guys, we've rested our dough for half an hour. Look at the elasticity. Look at that. It's so nice. It's so good. Okay, the next stage is we're gonna stretch our cheese. We're gonna stretch our dough, then we're gonna fold it, then we're gonna let it rest for another 10-15 minutes, then we're gonna make the balls, we're gonna put them in the fridge for 3 hours, and then we're gonna make a pizza. Okay, let's stretch our dough, not cheese, dough. That's nice. Look at that. That is so nice. Look at the way it stretches beautifully. Now remember, this is only 350 grams of dough or flour used in the dough. And the stretch is just beautiful. Beautiful, look at that. Look at that. Okay, now we're going to fold it and pick it up. After a few stretches, it'll be a lot better. And stickiness. So let's cover a problem with sticky dough. If you've got a super sticky dough, walk it like this. You create a surface that isn't sticky and you can handle the dough a lot better. Fantastic. Look at that. Nice. Okay, so we're going to rest it another 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Then we're going to make our balls. See you soon. Okay guys, we're back. 15 minutes has passed. This is the Caputo Manitoba Oro, which is the Manitoba flour. Look at our dough. You see the activity here, we've got fermentation going on. Okay, now it's time to make the balls. It's relaxed, you can tell how it's rested. We're going to cut it and make our balls. Look, it's quite sticky, right? Still quite sticky. So let's take our dough. Take this out the way for the time being. It's a beautiful dough. Look how smooth it is. Look at this. How smooth. So fold it to make the balls. Oh, that's nice. That's so nice. Look at that. Now we'll close the dough. So the dough is now nicely closed. And there's one ball. Then we're going to take our pots, a little bit of olive oil, wipe the pot with the olive oil, and we'll put the ball inside, ready for the fridge. We'll take our other dough ball. We're going to wash this as well. This one's already been closed, so there's no need to close it again. That, look, bounces back up again. It's another test of the dough that it's ready. When you depress your finger in it and it comes back up, it's ready. We're ready. We're going to be making some fantastic pizzas. Okay, now we close the pots. It's quite amazing. When the fermentation process goes on and the carbon dioxide is given off by the dough, these lids literally pop off. You can be standing in the kitchen and you'll hear boop, and the lids begin to pop off the pots like an orchestra. It's fantastic. This is really nice. Okay, we're going to put these in the fridge now. They are marked with 3 for 3 hours, so we know which is which. And we'll see you again in 3 hours when it's going to be time to cook some fantastic pizza. Please guys, if you haven't already, subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 viewers. That's my latest milestone. Just 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Bye. Okay, here we've got our de-watered mozzarella. Totally different. It's nice and firm. It's not full of water anymore. So we're going to put this in a bowl and then we can use it for our pizza. Super nice.
Hey everybody, we're back. We're now going to see, it's been 3 hours. We took our 3 hour dough out.
Woo! That's what I was talking about. These things pop because of the fermentation. So we have our dough, 3 hour dough. We have some new semolina or semola, which we use to dust and stretch the dough. Let's put some more.
We're ready, the fire is on and it's hot and it's at absolute maximum temperature. So let's start.
Let's see how our 3 hour dough releases. Here we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's turn it over and get a feel for the dough. It's actually really nice. It feels really good. Can't tell the difference at this moment in time between a 3 hour and a 48 hour bigger. It feels good. Okay, let's move our semolina over here and let's stretch the dough. Give it some love. Okay, we push the air to the crust as usual. Okay, I'm feeling some spring back here, some elasticity. So maybe, in fact not maybe, I'm pretty sure that this is one of the side effects of using only a 3 hour dough. So if I let this rest a little bit longer, it would probably not be so springy. Okay, so let's go for
the hand stretch. There's many different ways of stretching dough. There, we have a pizza. I want it a bit bigger. And a bit bigger than that. These were 280 gram balls. There we go, that's nice. Perfect, we'll start with some tomato. Remember guys, this is only 3 hours old. Minus, well, not including the time it took to make the dough. But the dough only came into existence when it was completed, and that was 3 hours ago. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Some Parmesan. Some basil, as usual. It's Neapolitan, must have basil. I really wonder what the crust elevation is going to be like on a 3 hour direct dough, without a biga, without a pre-fermentation, without anything. Okay, we're going to use fior di latte. Classic margherita. Simply basil, fior di latte, tomato sauce, parmesan, and of course olive oil. Okay, let's put it on the peel. Stretch it out. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Okay, so even though it had some elasticity, it worked. Let's take it to the oven. You gotta see this. This is amazing. Look what happened here. This is a direct dough. I literally don't believe it. Can you make a Neapolitan pizza in 3 hours? Absolutely. Look at that. That is amazing. Let's take it inside. Look at the size of that crust. Look at the elevation. 3 hours. My God, this could be a game changer. Depending on the flavor. Let's have a look at the structure. Okay, it's not as strong as a longer fermentation. Turn it around. But it's still very good. It's still very soft. It's still very elastic. Is it soft and crunchy? It's soft, not so crunchy. So there are some differences. That's the first one. Let's put it to the side. Can you make a pizza in 3 hours with a Neapolitan canotto crust? Yes, you can. Here we go, the second 3 hour. On a 3 hour fermentation. Look at that. Okay, we just took our 3 hour fermentation dough out the oven, and I have to say, I've never made Neapolitan pizza in 3 hours. Let's take it inside. Guys, we made Neapolitan pizza with a 3 hour fermentation. Look at that. I didn't for a moment think we'd get a rise on the crust, anything like this. It's not so crunchy. Oh, actually, it is. There's a little bit of crunch in there. It's soft and crunchy. Let's have a look. We can't leave without doing this. Look at that. For a 3 hour fermentation, you cannot get better. That's fantastic. Guys, please like and subscribe.